What's up, everybody? Welcome to PNL Live, where I am documenting my day trading journey. And before I even get started, this is not financial advice. None of this is financial advice. Anything you see in the comments, anything you hear me say, should not be confused as financial advice. So do not take it as such, please. Do your own research before investing in anything. Especially day trading is very risky, and so just be careful if you do decide to. So yeah, I'm just trying to get my settings figured out right now. So yeah, so let you guys know if this is episode 2. This is live stream number 2. And this is my entire day trading journey. So right now I'm starting off with a paper trading account because I have some exposure to trading, but not a lot, not enough to be confident for real money. So I started off with a $2,000 paper trading account. I'm up to $2,150. This is after just a couple days of trading. I'm using the BTCC platform. I'm going to leave a link in the description if you guys want to check it out. It's futures trading, so it's not spot trading. I'm not actually buying the underlying asset. What futures trading is, you're just buying the contract and predicting whether it's going to go up or whether it's going to go down. And if you do decide to join the account, remember, this is only for informational and educational purposes only, but this is pretty much just going to be me going through my morning ritual that I'm getting started. I skipped a couple days of streaming because I was looking for a good microphone. Hope my microphone sounds okay. Hope the levels are okay. I tweaked some settings to where now my charts are actually ticking on time and not ticking every other second, because that was pretty frustrating. But yeah, so indicators I got set up. I got my RSI set up to determine if anything's overbought, oversold. I got my exponential moving average here set at 100. And that's at the bottom on the BTCC chart, and then up top on my TradingView chart, I got this is basically where I set all of my resistance and my supports, so I know what I'm going to be trading for today. And I think before I was trading Doge and Sui, just because they were looking like they were they were touching the support, touching the resistance, so it was good. So right now I'm just going to kind of comb the market and kind of see what we're going to be trading for today. So this might look like a good, and I'm not doing swing trading, I'm just scalping. So what that is, I'm basically trying to get in and out of trades within 10 minutes. So it looks like the S&P might be a good one to trade. To touch that support. Oh, the resistance looking like it's turning into, looked like it was about to turn into a support, and it just dropped right through it. So let's check it out. This actually might be, see what it's looking like on the 5-minute chart. And I trade on the 5-minute chart with Heikin-Ashi candles. I don't use regular candles, I use Heikin-Ashis. I try not to trade on the 1-minute chart, there's just too much noise. like I already missed a good entry. But we'll see where it goes. Maybe it falls through. Maybe it just keeps going. Let's see. Still has some room to fall from where it was last week. Yeah, so it looks like I already, for now, it looks like I already kind of missed an entry. So let's see here. I'm gonna try to find the S&P. Yeah, these settings definitely work a lot better. Before it was terrible. It was like none of my charts were loading. Okay, so let's set this over to Heikin-Ashi candles. So right now it's coming up to that exponential moving average and it kind of bounced off of it. So if there is going to be an entry, I want to see a strong move through that exponential moving average. It doesn't really look like, it looks like it's respecting that exponential moving average and bouncing off of it. But it broke through that that support. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one. Let's see. So I want to get it to where a lot of people only trade during certain hours and they only trade certain markets. I really want to get to the point where I can just find volume and recognize immediately my support and my resistance, and be able to just jump into something for 10 minutes, jump in, jump out, as long as it's got volume and it's looking like it's near the support or resistance and it's respecting it or it's disrespecting it, I guess you'd say, then I should be able to trade whatever. And so it's looking like it's going to bounce off that exponential moving average. We might be able to make a play. We might be able to, but then again, it might just touch that exponential moving average for a minute, kind of get a little concerned, and then fall through it. So this might be a play. This might be a play for today. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this one. It looks like it might. So let's get our contract ready here. So my contract size, just for this paper trading account, this demo account, is I do $10,000 contracts at 20x leverage, which is risking about $500. If you're not sure how this works, this might actually be a good play here. It's looking like it fell through it. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in, I think, because it's after this minute. I got to wait for this candle first, because if it doesn't want to, but it's looking pretty oversold right now if you look at the RSI at the bottom on the BTCC chart. So let's wait. I really want to get a buy signal, just because it's the most important part about doing this, is actually waiting for a good spot to get in, not just jumping in, which I have done. See, look, it's respecting that exponential moving average. It's not just blasting through it. It's looking oversold. So depending how it looks, maybe we can get a short long, a long position instead of a short position. So if you don't know what that means, a long position is just betting that it'll go up. A short position is just betting it's going to go down. So right now it's kind of respecting that. I'm trying to do a 1 to 2 ratio. So setting my stop loss at a 1 and setting my take profits at a 2. If it doesn't look like it's going to make me a 1 to 2 ratio, some people just do 1 to 1. They just like to scalp, get in, get out. But I'm trying to set a limit on my trades for about 3 a day. So, and please, I want this to be an interactive experience. So if you guys are seeing something that looks like I could be doing better, or if you guys are seeing something, a trade that I could make for the day. See, yesterday the entire market tanked, so I'm kind of looking for a rebound to do a long, maybe a nice swing trade, because everything tanked yesterday because of news, because of conflict in the Middle East. So everybody wasn't too happy about that. So the entire market kind of tanked. So yeah, so I'm going to be kind of looking for a rebound play here. Gold might be looking like a good play too. I'm trying to get into the Forex market and trade actual currency, but I have not dipped my feet in those waters yet. Looks like there's a Heikinashi on gold. Looks like it might be. I'm gonna make a play. Right now would probably be a good time to get into gold. Looks like the MACD is about to turn around. So we're gonna keep an eye on the S&P 500. So gold looks like it just did the same thing. It's oversold. It's turning around. It just bounced off the exponential moving average. There's some nice strong candles downward. So let's wait and see what this candle looks like here. Might just make a quick play. Just make a quick play here. Doesn't look like it has a whole lot of of momentum on the upside though. But it's just the first candle, so let's see. Let's see how this one closes. Thanks for joining PNL Live. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's looking like we're starting to get some momentum to the upside here. This might be a good play. After this minute, I think I'm going to jump in. We're going to open this long position and try to scalp off a few bucks. That wick on that Heikinashi, it's more looking like a hammer, really. I really don't want it to just continue to the downside, but I just don't see it blasting through that exponential moving average. It's been respecting it, so I think we'll have a nice move to the upside here. Okay, so we got my order in. I'm not sure where it got me in at, though. Okay, so I put my order in a little higher than I would have liked, but that's okay. Put my order in much higher than I would have liked. That's alright, we're going to set our stop loss here. Okay, see, this is something I'm trying to figure out here. It's because if it reaches this, I'm still only making $4, so it's kind of something I'm trying to figure out with these contracts. Is the percentages here. It's because sometimes you can have the same exact ratio, same exact contract, except make much more money. So it's still something I'm trying to figure out. If there's something I should probably look for, put it in the comments, because I'm curious to know what I should be looking for. I guess maybe the percentage and change, if I can do like a filter search for stocks and crypto that have a larger fluctuation, maybe more volatile. And that's why a lot of people don't like crypto, because they like to just have it much more chill price action. But I'd have to risk a lot more in order to make any real money. You know, I'd have to risk. Right now, my contracts, I'm only risking 500 bucks at a time. $10,000 contracts at 20x leverage. So if I'd probably have to risk, even if I was to make this same trade with a $40,000 contract, risking $2,000 on 20x leverage, I'd still only be making 25 bucks, 20 bucks on this same exact trade. It's about a 2-to-1 ratio. If you don't know what that means, basically, I mean, I'm risking 1 to make 2. So yeah, we will see how this works. I'm really trying to keep these trades short, like no more than 15 minutes at a time. I mean, with something like this, it probably would have been better to see a much bigger pullback, a much larger drop than this, because this isn't a huge. This is kind of just like not a huge drop. It's kind of just consolidation. I really want to see something that just plummets, because then it's just going to turn around and kind of have a much better ratio. But I'm still learning. This was kind of something I saw and decided to jump in real fast. And I really don't want to play with higher leverage. Just in case, because then you just have you run the risk of it just changing a small percentage and losing your bag. So when you have a smaller leverage, I don't think I'd ever play with 500x. That's just it's insane. But yeah, the RSI is starting to turn around, looking like it's wanting to be oversold again. So we'll probably have a bounce here, back to the exponential moving average there. It'll probably just bounce off it again. Maybe dip below it, I don't know. Maybe I'll lose out on this trade, because that's something it's a learning experience. Like I said, PNL Live, my day trading journey. So the plan is to turn this account into, it's $2,000 account. I want to turn it into a $10,000 account, and then from there we can start playing with real money. And then I'm gonna throw in. Haven't decided how much I'm gonna throw in once I actually make it real money, but I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just going to maybe do the 2,000 again. Throw $2,000 real money in there, and then try to turn that into 10,000, just like the paper trading account. I don't know. Yeah, see, with this, I probably should have waited for a bigger drawdown, because gold's already kicking its all-time high. So it's not, and those are psychological levels, so it's not just going to blast through it. So that's something, a learning experience. Even though it bounced off the exponential moving average, had a candle upward, it's not a strong candle upward, and that 2-to-1 is not very big at my leverage size, so it's kind of a silly trade. But I set my entries, and I set my exits, and have my parameters, which is the most important part. So if I could do something better, then so be it. But I didn't really do anything wrong. It was just, not the best. Especially because if I hadn't, that's the thing, is I'm not really good with these percentages. So if I had, and the leverage size and the contract size. So if I had known that just a 2-to-1 at my entry and exit would only be $5 with this contract size, I wouldn't even got into it. But we're gonna ride this. Let's go check out the S&P here. See what the S&P is doing. Well, it's looking like it's turning around now. It's wanting to go back and touch the. We got a strong candle upside. This is like the exact same thing that gold is doing. We got a little hesitation there with this halfway down with this Heikin Ashi candle. If you look at the bottom of the screen at the S&P 500, the top chart I still have set at gold, but if you look at the bottom chart, I have it set at S&P 500. There's this Heikin Ashi candle, so I wasn't sure if it wanted to keep going. There's probably some sort of like resistance or support right there. That's probably why. It came down through it, and then it's looking like it wants to go back up to the upside. But it was the same thing as before. It's just not a whole lot of volume. And this would be even less, to go from 6,000 to 6,010. That's such a small percentage that even if I thought it was going to go back up to this support, which is now its resistance, even if I thought it was going to go back up there, that's still only like a few bucks with this contract size that I'm doing. So I really need to find things that have a much higher spread. I might have to look towards crypto here and see. Let's see what Sui's doing. Sui's always got good volume. Sui at any given time has billions of dollars in a 24-hour period. Yeah, it's kind of whatever right now. It looks like it's just trending down, but it doesn't know what it wants to do. I think same thing with a lot of the markets right now is that like it's not just super quick to just spike back up because of the news yesterday. Even though it just dropped, it's, I don't know, what would you call that? Would you call war and conflict a speculative sell-off, or would you call that a fundamental sell-off? I don't know. If you know, let me know in the comments, because I really don't know. But generally after speculative sell-offs, it kind of bounce back pretty quick. But when it's fundamentals, it's not going to be so fast to just... It looks like nothing is really recovering super fast from yesterday. Today might have just been a bad trading day, to be honest with you. Today just might be bad, because it's kind of red across the board. So one thing I hate about this is if I switch screens from BTCC, it takes off my visual indicator, so I can't see where my profits and take losses were. Like it takes it off the screen. But I think I found a little trick. If you go back to your take profits and you change it, it brings it right back up. If I could figure out how to edit this. we're gonna hold on, guys. My computer's about to die. So now we're gonna let's add the stop loss again, or the take profit again. Thinking that it should bring these indicators back up. Let's see. Yes, so I brought it back up. Yeah, see, I wouldn't even have got into this trade. It's the percentages. I really got to figure out these percentages. Because when something fluctuates from $3 to $3.20, that's much more profit than when something fluctuates from, 34, 34.30 to 34.50. It's just that's why I like cryptos, because it tends to fluctuate, moving when it's consolidating and it's chopping sideways. It tends to make much bigger fluctuations, which are just way better. The price action is just way better in crypto. Futures trading crypto, but a lot of futures traders don't even trade crypto. They trade, the forex market. But I really want to find we got BTCC for now, to just to try it out. But eventually I'm gonna switch to a different broker, and then eventually we could start doing some prop trading, and I'm gonna do some copy trading once I get actually better at this. So we're in the green. Looks like it's gonna come back up to where it was. It's not quite overbought, not quite oversold. So the most I even stand to make on this trade anyway is just a few bucks. So starting to get some stronger volume in, which is good. There's no wicks on the bottom of these Heikin-Ashi candles. My entry point is definitely, it stinks. I really don't like all the slippage that happens. Like, your entry points whenever you try to open a long position or a short position, it always gets you in so much later. Not always, but a lot of times it gets you in like later. So I'm gonna comb the market. So I would like to, this is just the first trade of the day. I still got 2 more trades I gotta make. So, if I can find them. So I'm gonna use Dex Screener and try to screen the market for some volume. haven't traded any meme coins. I'm not sure if I want to go down that route. But it is very intriguing though. It's more kind of like a it depends on how you, I guess, trade memes. So from what I hear, you can kind of do like a short swing trade on memes if you get in early and you find them and you make sure the liquidity's locked, and you make sure there's not a lot of wallets holding majority of the tokens, and it looks like it's got a good social media following. You can swing trade it, or you can just scalp it, and just make the money really fast if you catch it like after it's kind of taken off. But a lot of people that make all these crazy amount of money, they normally get in, put $100, $500, $1,000 in these projects when they're still very, very young. But I don't know if I want to do. I'm definitely not doing that. If I do start trading meme coins, it's gonna be strictly scalping. So I'm scanning Deck Screener right now. If you guys have a better place to screen, let me know in the comments. If you know a better place to actually look for projects. Let me know, because alright, so I'm not finding, and that's the bad thing, is that like if I look on Deck Screener and I do top volume, and I just rank everything by volume, it gives me projects, and it gives me tokens that aren't available on to trade on BTCC. So now I'm gonna check out, let's see. There's a couple other places I like to go just to check stuff out. So there's a website called Messari, Messari, and it's pretty good to scan for projects. It's got news. It's got I'm not super familiar with it, so I'm trying to figure out how to change parameters to try to search for things with big fluctuation with a lot of volume. So Bitcoin dominance is still at 61% right now. Uh-oh, we look like we got a Heikin-Ashi candle here at gold. Looks like it's probably going to turn around. Big old Heikin-Ashi candle. So that looks like, yeah, see, that's a learning experience though. Because there wasn't a huge reversal in gold. It didn't even really, it didn't dip like everything else did. with the news. It didn't dip at all. It didn't care. Gold didn't care one bit about the news in the Middle East. Looks like it's just kind of consolidating after it's. I know, like there's a lot of guys that trade gold. I think that guy Alpine Trader. I'm pretty sure he just trades. Pretty sure he just trades gold. But it looks like the the Bulls are trying to stay in control, but it just does not look like it's happening. Yeah, see, it's Tate's going back down now. I had a feeling it was going to. Yep, I knew it. But yeah, we're just gonna leave this one alone and just I'll probably end up getting kicked out of this trade. Let's see. Huge candle to the downside. I knew it was gonna happen too. I called it. Yeah, this one wasn't a good trade to get into. We got our stop loss set. It's only a couple bucks, honestly. But I'm just something I gotta be more mindful about. See, that's why I like streaming this and holding myself accountable, because every single time I make a trade on here, I make a trade, period, I learn something new. Entries and exits, how things react to the resistance levels and their support levels. So this is actually a really good learning experience. And it's just going to take doing this every single day. And I have my loss stop just right underneath the exponential moving average, set at 100. So with these giant candles, it looks like it's actually probably going to go under it, honestly. It looks like it's not wanting to just break through it just yet. It's not just wanting to plow through that, but it very well could. They'll probably end up kicking me out of my spot, which is okay. See, there's also, other than Deck Screener and Masari or whatever it's called, I like to use Crypto Bubbles. It's an application you can get on your phone, and it shows everything in a nice, neat format. Just in the form of bubbles. Giant green bubbles mean giant gains, giant red bubbles mean giant losses. So yeah, it looks like I'm going to get kicked out of my position. Strong buying, or strong selling pressure right now. Huge Heikin-Ashi going down. So it'll probably end up kicking me out of my spot. And there's the Bears are officially in control of this here. So there's not a lot of movement today. In the crypto market, there's not a whole lot of So while this thing is doing its thing, it's either going to kick us out of my spot or it's not. I'm not too concerned about it. We're going to check out and see if this one's available. Oh, this one looks like it's available. It's got a 7% on the hour. 7% change on the hour, which is good. No, I don't want to do that either. There's not a whole lot of movement going on in the markets. I know a lot of people probably aren't trading today just because of the news from, really it was from last night. So today is probably, today is probably just going to just be not a good day to trade all around. But I got my new microphone. I really just wanted to jump in. So, into anything really. So, I really want to start being consistent with everything, so. This chart's looking. Yes, if you guys aren't into crypto, there's a project that I found out about, and it's called Zebek. And it's actually, I got in like all the way down here, down here somewhere. As you can see, it's already done like a 4x, and I was worried about this Head and Shoulders here. But it looks like it's recovering pretty good from that. Its previous all-time high was somewhere around here, was underneath this, it's like third of a penny was its previous all-time high, and it went all the way up to like damn near a penny, 7/10 of a penny. Now it's kind of just chopping sideways. I was kind of concerned with this Head and Shoulders, but it looks like it's starting to turn back around. There's a lot of buying pressure. There's a lot of hype behind it. What Zebek is doing is they're trying to put payroll on the blockchain, and they get some really big partners like ADP. The president of the Solana Foundation is an advisor. They got some pretty good fundamentals. Their tokenomics are a little strange. It's the only thing I don't like about it, just because they do buybacks, which is good, but they don't really have an escrow. They have some of the top wallets that hold quite a bit of the tokens, like 6%, which is, if you were going to look at that and six people held 6% of all the tokens, or more, I think, it's not a good project. But the fundamentals are just too good. They're partnered with Ondo Finance, which is trying to tokenize treasuries on the XRP ledger. Uh, they got some really strong partnerships, so that's what attracted me to them. And they're not the first one to try to put payroll on the blockchain. Um, what was the other one again? I think there was another project that was doing either Revolt or Active or something like that. They were actually um, tokenizing payroll first, or I think it's Revolut. I can't remember. Let's see if this kicked us out of our position here. Did we get kicked out? We probably got kicked out. Yeah, we got closed out. I knew we were going to. Yeah, we got closed out. That's okay. We are down to 21.50. We lost about $3 and some change on that trade, which is fine. Let's see if we could find any sort of movement in the market right now. Let's check out Pepe. Pepe's always got good volume. huge drop last as soon as all that hit. Huge drop. That's wild. Everything. This one's having a better trading volume in 24 hours, almost $2 billion. That's wild. Into a picture coin. Yeah, there's not a whole lot going on in this market. I'm trying to squeeze blood out of a stone here. Yeah, Pepe's just kind of chopping sideways through the exponential moving average. It's overbought right now, and it just got over the exponential moving average, so it's probably going to turn back around, just go back the other way. Everything's just taking a dip and just kind of chopping sideways. Yeah, not a good trading day. It would have been a good short last night. As soon as the news hit, it would have been a really good short. And that's the cool thing about futures trading. Like if I had really wanted to, and once I get into doing this more, as soon as I would have heard that news, because I always keep my nose to the news, as soon as I would have heard that news, it would have been a good time to get on here and just short everything. Good news doesn't really seem to affect the market as much as bad news. Seems like bad news, things just drop through the floor. Good news, it'll have a little pop. You'll get a little pop, but just not nearly as much. And what's good about futures trading is you don't need, like with the stock market, if you want to short, you got to have a big bag. You got to have a big bag to be like an accredited, I don't know. I think you got to be an accredited investor to even short on Wall Street through the usual channels. But with futures trading, you don't need as big of a bag. Everything, the entire market is just red. So it's probably not a good trading day. Gold is like the only thing that probably is even tradable, but it's sitting damn near the all-time high, and when it consolidates, it doesn't want to consolidate by much. Let's try to keep looking for something else here. Okay, this might be a good one. Let's see if it's even available on Mappo. Let's see if this is even available. Nope. Mappo is like a... It ranks like 550. So it's probably not on here. Let's see what else is, let's see what else we could do here. They got really weird meme coins on here. They're like dogs. Which is just like a picture of a dog, which is very strange that they would have meme coins on here, but let's check out what's hot on here. AUSD, we already checked that. One. Let's see what's going on with this one here. Oh, this is a good play right here. This is definitely a good play. It's 3. Yeah, that's a good play. Well, it's at least it'll probably be a good play. What's the percentage of change here? I think it's 7%, something like that. If we get back to the exponential moving average, if it turns back around, let's see. It's overbought. It's way overbought. I don't know what kind of news they had, but made a lot of people happy. So, looks like it's got a shooting star. It's starting to turn back around. There's not as much buyers coming in. BDXN. Let's check it out. Okay, so BDXN looks like it's starting to turn around now. Except so this is the regular candles. Up top, my trading view is the regular candles, and which it had a huge hike notch. This is actually a good time to put in a buy. Momentum starting to swing the other way. The MACD is starting to reverse. Let's go ahead and open up a short position here. Yeah, see, these percentages are a lot better. So now let's add a stop loss here. So far I'm down 6%. Let's see. Whoa. This thing is looking crazy. I gotta get out of here. Boom, just like that, I took a $120 loss. Wow. Just like that. So far I'm in the red. I'm in the red today, guys. I wanted volume. I got it, huh? It's like immediately as soon as I opened the position, I was down 80 bucks. But what I did wrong there is I did not wait for a good confirmation. It closed with this hammer. But it very well just could have taken a moment to consolidate really fast. There's still so much on the Heikinashis. This is all still. There's no wicks at the bottom. So that was definitely a bad move, but definitely a bad play on my part. There's still so much. There's still very strong buying pressure. And I would not want to get up. I would not want to get in here, even though it looks like it's because the buying pressure is starting to subside a little bit. So we're gonna wait and see, because I would like to get back into this, but it looks like it's just still on a tear. But this is definitely a prospect for later. We're definitely gonna short this because it's very, very overbought still. So I would still like to wait for a good indication to get into a short position and make my money back. We just need to see a good, strong Heikin-Ashi. Signs of a reversal. Yeah, that was definitely my fault. That was a bad trade to get into. That's probably why they say after a bad news day, you probably shouldn't jump into trades. Because that news literally happened last night. There's like Middle Eastern wars that went down, and it's still going down right now. So now it's looking like it's wanting that RSI is looking like it wants to turn around, but it's not sure. This thing is just going on a tear. This I'm starting to get a little Heikin-Ashi, but it's just too small. I'm not I'm not comfortable jumping back into it. But we're starting to hit, see, and I didn't draw out my resistance lines, I didn't draw out anything. Bad trade all around on my part. This is a very silly move. I shouldn't have just jumped into it. That's why we have this paper trading account, though. It's good. So we're starting to get a little bit bigger of a Heikinashi, but it's definitely not going to be as big as this one. I really want to see a Heikinashi that's like as big as the last one, but it still looks pretty good. We're going to see. Actually, this one's looking pretty good. We might end up. Should be ready for a short position here. So let's open a short. See, and this is probably, I didn't wait until this candle closed, which I should have waited until this candle closed before deciding to jump into it. So that's another thing, because the thing could just turn around, and then I don't have any entry indicators. So still very confused as to what it wants to do. But the good thing is that the Heikinashi is getting a little bit bigger. Which really would like to see it completely flat and much bigger. But we're in the green right now. We're back up 25 bucks. Looks like we're dropping. About 15 bucks. If we can just come back to the resistance, we'd be looking pretty good. That Heikinashi is definitely looking a lot better. Starting to look more like a hammer though. But it's a red hammer, which is okay. It's got a, I don't know, I wouldn't even call that a Heikinashi. I would still say that's like a hammer. So we might end up, there's still a lot of buying pressure though. because that when it was dipping, it looked like it was getting bought up really quick. So, and I didn't wait until that. I should have waited until that candle was finished, and that's my own fault. It's another thing that I need to get better at doing. It's kind of like, and also drawing out my charts and drawing out everything else. So it's my own fault. You gotta close that out. That's a $200 loss on the day. Almost 250 bucks loss on the day, just like that. Silly. That's why they say do not play the market when it's bad news. Got out of a trade and then I tried jumping back in just to make my money back. I'm pretty sure that's a rule that they say not to do also. I'm pretty sure they tell you not to do that. It's like revenge trade. It's kind of what that was, huh? Well, that's okay. It's a good thing it's a paper trading account. But man, I said I wanted action too. It's like as soon as that thing fluctuates, it fluctuates like crazy. See right here, that was some huge gains. Boom. That would have been sweet. That's like a $300 ride or more. $1,000 ride. That made somebody some pretty good profits. Okay, I made some of that money back. I'm just not too confident in this damn chart because that RSI turns around fast. Even though there was a huge Heikin-Ashi here, I still don't really trust this at all. I'm gonna wait till we get some volume coming in. Hey, we're down to a $200 loss today. There's still a lot of buying pressure here, so I really don't trust it at all. I know I said 3 trades, but I went ahead and got caught up in this. I got caught up in this trap here. So let's just keep an eye on it, and I'm gonna move on. Let's see what ADA is doing. Took a huge dump last night. Took a big old dump. And it's probably a good time to get into some long positions, to be honest with you, because I have a feeling that all this is going to bounce back. It's kind of like the tariff situation. Like the tariffs just had a lot of short-term selling pressure, but then everything kind of came back around. But now everything's dipping again. It's almost like as soon as the market starts getting in the green, it's like something happens and then it just dumps. It makes a lot of people a lot of money. Like that's a good short right here. That would be a sweet short. Yeah, that would have been a sweet short right there if you would have caught that last night. If I was, and I don't really think about that. I need to start getting in the mindset of like, as soon as I hearing bad news, wanting to hop on here and get to the broker as fast as I can. Because that is where you want to be. Okay, see, and that's something else I'm learning. How something can be above the exponential moving average on the 5-minute, but be way below it on the hour. So that is interesting. So maybe before I get into trades, checking the hour and making sure that both of them are above or below and not one or the other. I mean, I don't know, maybe it depends, because if I'm just trying to scalp 10 minutes, I would say that the 5-minute chart is probably more important to be mindful of. But obviously, definitely want to take into account the hour chart too. See, but this is above the EMA, and this one is. Why doesn't it have? This one's way below the exponential moving average on the hour. Way below. With the RSI turning around upwards, and then on the 5-minute, it's got the RSI going downwards. So that's interesting. Interesting to note. Learn something new every day. A lot of you guys are probably watching this like, how did he not know that? But I did not know that. So I'm down $125 on the day. Actually, no, I'm down I'm down 200 bucks on the day. It's pretty terrible. I almost feel like I shouldn't even be looking at the top gainers and what's hot, quote unquote hot, on this brokerage platform, because obviously they're going to want people to trade things that they think are going to make them money. I'm sure they probably make money regardless. I don't think they really care, but I think everything's going to be below the exponential moving average right now after that huge dump it took, like on the hour chart. And everything on the 5-minute chart looks like it's above, because it's trying to claw back to where it was. Yeah, it's a really weird day to trade, guys. I think maybe I'm just going to cut the stream and come back later. That's a pretty terrible day to trade. Huge dip. So, this is fun. Just trying to literally figure out how to time the market. Catch these dips. Catch these waves.